It's literally just him in like 6 pages, sitting down in like the Shibuya floor, just watching the Gojo and Sukuna fight on his phone.
Yeah.
It was like 2 pieces of dialogue in the whole chapter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wano Bros Podcast, episode 7. I'm Omar. That's RJ. That's Austin. How we doing, boys? I know RJ is kind of mad about the JJK leaks, as you can tell from our little preview there.
They sucked.
Yeah,
It
they,
sucked.
they
It's
were
just
pretty bad. They were really
Kenjaku's
bad.
a fucking iPad kid. That's all it is. We wait
I'm
two
doing
weeks
all
for
right.
KK.
Huh?
Weekly shows are hitting right now, so that's all I
Mid.
need.
Everything's mid. Anime's mid. Manga's mid right now.
I
Everything's
mean,
mid.
I was going through a lot of Crunchyroll stuff yesterday, and Austin mentioned it earlier. I should have watched Eminence of the Shadow
Eminence
because
Shadow.
he was recommending that for a little bit. But I was looking through some like just Crunchyroll's like thing yesterday, and I was like, there is really nothing that interesting out right now. I don't know what's
Well,
going on. It's just not appealing to me.
sometimes you just gotta take chances. Like that's how I find a lot of the shows in like a season that I like. Like the two I'm watching right now that I really like, which is Berserk of Gluttony, and I just started Shangri-La Frontier, and then also Kingdom of Ruin. I just kind of like started them on a whim, and I was like, oh, I saw a couple people talking about like Shangri-La Frontier, so I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot, and I liked it. And I mean, Kingdom of Ruin is another one that I saw a lot of people talk about. I gave it a chance, and it's pretty good. So sometimes you just gotta like throw it out there and just be like, oh, there's like 2 episodes out. I'll try it, see if it sticks. So
Yeah, that's what we do with a lot. Like I did that with My Hero. It stuck for a little bit, and then the Vigilante Deku arc hit, and then that turned me off to it completely. Like I didn't even want to know the ending after all of that. And I mean, honestly, I'm still like low key following along a little bit. Like I know All Might just got defeated or something. I don't
Bro
want to.
blew up. Well, like they're gonna cop him out.
They're gonna definitely.
Bakugo's probably gonna like save him or some
Bro,
shit because
they're gonna do some shit that they did with like Bakugo. They said he died and then they revive him or something like
it's the
that.
regular, it's the stupid shonen trope.
Yeah, I know. It's
That's all
it's
it
really
is.
stupid. Like Shonen, just kill your characters sometimes. It's really like okay. Like I know these people. Like there's people. Remember when Bakugo died? There was like 3 people that actually like killed themselves. Like
I don't want to be that guy and say that I did it justice, but
like no, it did not. Like no.
why are you killing yourself over Bakugo? Like,
Like
out of
that, if
anything.
that's happening, you gotta really, really, really. I
Like,
mean, you really can't look at your life anymore. But like, you gotta look at your life if you're.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be insensitive, but
Yeah, that's.
I mean, like characters in the show, or
yeah, Bakugo died in one chapter, and then there's a break the next week, and in the next chapter he got revived by using like skill shots, like fucking, like, he like turned into his heart essentially. And during that week break, people killed themselves because Bakugo
3 people.
died, even
Three
though
people.
he didn't die. It's actually really like I don't want to laugh, I don't want to be insensitive, but it's like like
I'm so confused. Are you talking about people like in
they
My
kill
Hero died,
no
or
people in
No,
people in
real
real
life
life?
people in
killed
real life.
themselves in real life, murdered themselves because Bakugo
Yeah,
died.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really.
I thought he meant like maybe like
Oh
his
my god.
mom in the
No,
the
no,
manga.
not even her. Just random people. Not even her. Just random people
Yeah,
in
like
real life.
Well, I
I'm
mean, the My Hero
smiling,
fan
but
base
just
is
know I'm
very
uncomfortable.
the My Hero fan base is very, I feel like, passionate about the show,
The
the
pressure's not even the
manga,
word.
the
It's
series.
deranged. Deranged.
Well, I
Definitely
mean,
the
I mean,
smelliest
think
fan
about
base.
the Baku Deku shippers. I mean, they
Oh
take it
my
very
god! Don't even get me
seriously.
started with that.
I mean,
It's like
people
the
sometimes take shows way too serious, and I mean, imagine if like Sasuke died in Naruto. I maybe people might do
all
the
of
same. You never know.
all the people in Shippuden would clap. Everyone hates Sasuke.
Yeah, seriously.
They're very flip floppy.
Kiba would throw a parade.
Sasuke in the AMV, Sasuke in the show. That sums up the whole Shippuden like fan base. It's like Sasuke in AMV is like, oh, he's so fucking cool, and in the show he's like, this guy's a fucking pussy.
I
Yeah.
my problem with Sasuke the whole time is just his plot armor. I feel
Yeah,
like
he's the biggest cop out ever. Deidara, Killer Bee, Naruto, Kaguya, fighting Madara. Dude, everybody. The guy has never won a single fight. He's the Vegeta of Naruto.
oh,
That's
coming after all the
crazy.
big hitters already.
And Itachi, I mean, Itachi died by himself, but like people
Zoro
don't even
died of
give that to
fucking
Sasuke.
a
People don't
respiratory
even give that to
disease.
Sasuke though.
No, and most of the Itachi Sasuke fight it's highlighted mostly by Itachi moments, like the beginning of the fight where he's illusioning a lot of the fight that Sasuke's having, and then also at the end when he does the whole like finger on the forehead, drags it down with the blood. I mean, that's like the biggest parts of that fight to a lot of people. And
Yeah.
even when they fight Kabuto, it's mostly focused on Itachi putting Kabuto in that like infinite loop,
Yeah.
which I don't remember the exact name. I know it's either Izanagi
It was
Izanami.
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 Izanumi? No,
There's
Izanami.
there's
Izanami.
there's Izanami and Izanagi.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
they're so they're very
It
closely
might have been
related.
Izanagi. It might have been.
Well, because the one is
I
you
think it's
sacrifice your
Izanami.
eye to get like another life, which is what Donzo did, and the other one is the infinite loop. So
Yeah, I think
they're
it was
not
definitely
similar.
Izanagi.
They're not similar
Oh, they
in
both
like
sacrificed their eye.
yeah, they're similar in like what you lose, but they're not very similar in what actually happens.
You know
So
what's crazy though? It's like they're dead already and they still sacrificed their eye. Like what was the whole point? Like they're
I
dead.
think they're like near death.
They're all no Edo Tensei, bro. They're all dead.
Oh, that was the point. So that's why he just did it. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, like what was the point in like that doesn't make sense. If you're gonna kill somebody in the show, maybe nerf them a bit. Like you gave Itachi his whole eyes back. I mean,
Itachi was so broke when he was Edo Tensei because one, he didn't have
exactly.
chakra holdback. He had infinite chakra. He could spam Mangekyo Sharingan. They made this guy so broken. Everyone loves to say like, "Oh, Itachi's a lot stronger than Pain." I might give them the edge when he's in Edo Tensei because, yeah, fuck it. If you had all the illusionary like techniques without any drawbacks, like I still don't think he beats Nagato. Like I don't see a universe where he beats Nagato. Be like, oh well, Amaterasu hit him. Well, Nagato didn't know he was gonna fucking get fucking wrecked by his teammate. But I don't know. I think they made him so broken as Edo Tensei. Like they were like, let's give this like dude who was sick just zero drawbacks after death. Absolute zero drawbacks after death.
And he
Literally.
also got his eye back from the crow
Oh, and he had Shisui's eye, the
that
most broken
Shisui.
eye in Naruto. Yeah,
Yeah, he had
Koto
this crow for
Matakame.
forever, I
Yeah,
guess. And then he's decided after he got reincarnated, I'll use it now. So
yeah. Koto Matakame is the most broken eye. I mean, yeah, that Mangekyo Sharingan is the most broken eye in Naruto.
100%.
maybe
Anything
that's why they
illusionary
didn't.
becomes reality.
Maybe that's why they didn't give Shisui a lot of time, so he didn't overshadow everyone
Yeah, he's
else.
fodder. He's fodder.
Yeah, I'm
Because he's
trying to
only in
find
like
the
2
Boruto chapter
episodes.
3 leaks right
Hmm?
now. I thought chapter 3 was out already, but it's not. I'm trying to
Is there
find
a
the
reason that Shisui isn't revived in the Fourth Great Shinobi War?
He tried to, but he couldn't find his body. He said it. Kabuto
Oh,
said it
okay.
that he couldn't find his body.
Because I know he falls into the waterfall, but I mean, I feel like they brought back other like kind of like I'm not gonna say unknown, but like
Well,
side
that's
characters.
one of Omar's favorite theories that Shisui's alive still,
Yeah,
and
100%.
he's 80-year-old and he's walking with no eyes.
1000%.
Oh, I'm a burden.
Where would he be
1000%.
at though?
At
That
the
like no
bottom of
one's found him.
a river with a skeleton.
Hey yo.
That's probably
Yeah,
where he's at. I
that's
don't think
probably
he's
where he's
alive.
at. Yeah.
I mean, I think he. I mean, look now more than ever, I think he is dead. And remember that theory where I mentioned that I thought he was. Remember when they went back in time or something? They went to a different dimension, and it was Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, Obito, and Kakashi. They went to that different dimension, and then you saw somebody like on the cliff in the background, and we all thought, "Oh, it's Shisui, obviously." Da 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 da. But then, no, I'm getting to it. But then
No one thought it was Shisui.
I thought it was Shisui for
You
some
thought
reason.
Shisui was just dimension hopping?
Basically, I thought he was
With
a god.
So everyone
He's a
equals
god.
Omar.
Yeah. No, but legitimately, now
where's
there
my
is some.
lactate milk?
But now, hey yo.
Where's my
But now
milk?
there was some legitimacy because there was something in the text bubble above
It's Boruto.
talking about losing something and talking about like losing friendship and losing family or something, and it happened to be like right over like this figure in the background. Now that I
It's
think that
Boruto.
figure is Boruto, because now that text bubble is right there and you see what's happening with Boruto.
It's
connects.
100% Boruto. I
It's
think it is.
1000% Boruto. There's no doubt in my mind. And
Well, I
I
think
guess we
if
could segue into the chapter 3.
It was either Boruto or Ishiki.
well, don't you think
Why?
that how popular Shisui is, that like if there's all this popularity behind him, they would have obviously brought him back to life at some point already in the series.
He's just hyped because he looks cool. End of story.
Yeah, and his people like
His eye.
And he was stated
what
to
are
be
his-
really strong too. Like,
Yeah, no, but he wasn't like he was very strong, but like they gave bro 2 episodes. He was like, what's a good One Piece comparison? Um, bro was kind of like the
Pedro.
no Pedro no. Shishi's better than Pedro in my opinion. Like pop like favorability and popularity, 100%. Or Pedro, hell yeah.
Pedro is
Pedro,
definitely an honorary straw hat. You're bugging.
no, yeah, he's an honorary straw hat doesn't mean he's popular. Everyone fucking hates Carrot. Do you like Carrot? Fuck no, no one likes
No,
Carrot.
I like Carrot.
But she's
cool.
an honorary straw hat too.
I like Carrot. She's cool.
I just met Pedro, so I don't know
Stop
yet.
doing that. Stop doing. No.
I'm blanking on the thing that they do with the like the Uchihas and stuff. The figure, I can't think of the name. What is that figure that they summon? Like Sasuke summons it, Madara summons it. It's like the warrior like soul thing, I guess. That like
Death God.
no, it's like the thing that Kakashi brings out during the Kaguya fight. That it's his own, and he has like
Susanoo.
the two shirt, the
Susanoo.
Susanoo.
The
I
perfect.
don't know why
Susanoo.
I blanked on that.
Well, Shisui doesn't have a full body Susanoo, but the fans love to say it because it was in like a storm. It was like in a storm game where they gave him like a full body Susanoo
Green.
to play around with, because making a half body Susanoo would look like a paraplegic dude like walking on the floor with a sword. So that's the reason they didn't do it. He doesn't actually have a full body Susanoo because he doesn't have Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. He has a regular Mangekyo Sharingan. Itachi, oh my god, people think he has a full body Susanoo. He has a half body. Again, if they put it in a storm game, it would look like a paraplegic guy with a sword running around hitting you. So they didn't do that. They just gave him a perfect Susanoo. So
What
there's always
about okay
misconceptions.
for the One Piece comparison? I feel like Bon Clay. Would Bon Clay be a good
That's a
comparison?
great comparison. Yeah, honestly, yeah. Austin, that was a great
Because
comparison.
like he dies. We don't know if he's dead, right?
Nah, he's
At
alive.
Impel
He's
Down.
right. He's running level 3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then like there's so much time that goes past, but you only see him like what in Alabasta and Impel Down. So
Alabasta and Pelda, yeah.
even I don't know, like could you say like Vivi from Alabasta, the princess, is kind of like a good comparison because
Not
like
Shisui now.
'cause I
She's a
just
good-
saw her at the end of Zao, so
So yeah.
Zao,
Yes,
whatever.
that would be ZOA.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
I got the
so I
freaking
guess we
grammar
could segue
police.
into the chapter 3 chapter of Boruto, because I mean there's a lot of information here, right? And it kind of goes through it a little
It's
bit.
not released yet.
No, I found the whole chapter.
But are the translations correct? I don't want to say something and be like, oh, and then next week it'll just say something else.
Hopefully it is. We're going based off of OP scanlations.
Oh, it's a One Piece scan. Oh, we're fucked,
Oh no. So
Yeah, just gonna make it sound shitty.
yeah.
bro. They were like Mother Flame, and it was like Mother Frame.
Mother frame. Yeah, because the L and the R, that makes sense though.
No, but it actually means Mother Frame, not Mother Flame.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's like the frame, like it's weird. There was like a whole debacle about it on Twitter.
That's so crazy. So we pick off from the last chapter, obviously, where Boruto sees Code, and he tells him like, "Yo, I'll kill you." Anyway, and now Boruto started to activate his Uziko Rasengan. We don't know what this new Rasengan is, but you kind of see his aura kind of flow around in the wind with his chakra nature. And then Code says to himself, it's useless if it's not an ambush. It's strange for him to approach brazenly. That an invisible technique that can attack from the distance. It is the vanishing Rasengan. No, he asks himself, is it the vanishing Rasengan he is good at? No, this is different. And then you see Boruto's hand and his body more and more kind of wrap around wind chakra nature. Code tries to entrap him with his spikes, but Boruto is easily able to dodge it, or what he thinks Boruto is able to dodge. but it's just him straight up just moving, and like, I think it's his eye. I think it's his eye.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it's his eye. So then all of a sudden you see Code jump behind Boruto, and he has him in sight, and then Boruto turns around, sticks him with his paw, and then hits him with the Rasengan, and just hits him in the chest. Then Code dodges the first one, tries to claw him, but Boruto still has his hand in front of him, so he basically says, "You're gonna take this attack anyway." And then Code says, "You seem to have lost confidence in that technique. Too bad. It is futile if it doesn't hit." And he says, "I told you. It's too easy to kill you. In fact, it's already half done." And then it's done. Then the wind chakra nature starts to surround Code. And he's asking himself, like, what? Nani? Like, what? What is this? And then he asks himself, what is this clinging on to me? And it's the wind, I guess, Boruto's wind chakra nature. And then he's like, what the hell is this, Boruto? I'll say it one more time, Code. This is the last warning. Take me to where the Ten Tails is, if you can. If you can't, then die here. And he's, looking cold as ever. Wind chakra nature around him. Code says, don't make me laugh, Boruto. Try it if you can. Tries to attack Boruto. Boruto dodges. Boruto dodges again.
He dodges again.
He dodges again. He dodges
again. And then again.
And then it's about the time where he ends up right behind Code, and Code falls down, and he says to himself, what is this movement? It's not at the level of dodging. It's genjutsu or cloning. Then all of a sudden Boruto is right in front of him, looks at him, hits him with the Rasengan, Uzuhika. And then all of a sudden it blows him back super far, and now he can't get up.
He can't get up.
He can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
So here's where I guess the informational aspect comes into play. Ida is obviously overwatching this whole fight because we know her ability. She said, it's over. It's a simple technique. It's a simpler technique than I thought. How is it different from any ordinary Rasengan? Her brother Damon says, this is shaking of the ground. Is that Boruto? Nah. Rather than the ground is the planet. Like, this is the planet. A move using the planet's rotation. The planet's rotation, he says, yes, interesting. I see, interesting. And then Code is like, I'm surprised that you can even stand up from taking this. And then it's Code's vision, and it's just like whirling around. And he's obviously dizzy, and he's saying, what is this rotation? He's asking Boruto, what did you do? And then Boruto says, savor it well. Think that this is a strike back from the planet that you tried to destroy. And then Code asks, the planet, you say? And he says, the chakra of the planet, a Rasengan that has absorbed its rotation. That is Usuhiko. The power coursing through your body will never disappear. Right now, just like a planet doesn't stop its rotation. Code says to himself, rotation. Boruto says, the damage will last semi-permanently. Before the rotation of a planet stops, your life will end. And then he says, how cunning, and then he keeps falling over, and yada yada yada, until Boruto ends up in front of him, and he says, however, if I release Usuhiko, it's a different story. So that confirms what we were talking about earlier, that it could be Boruto. Either Boruto stops the genjutsu in total, or the planet will just have to stop rotation.
But that also brings keynote. Remember when the planet started spinning backwards when Ida did that whole thing with Boruto?
That's what I started thinking about as soon as this happened. As soon as I saw that. But I digress. So then Boruto says next, either you wait for the death in silence or hand me over the 10 tails to survive. Even if you're a fool, think how carefully and decide. And then all of a sudden, your boy Kawaki joins the fight and attacks Boruto. He looks at him cunningly. Boruto says, Kawaki! And then the whole gang shows up, including Himawari. And then suddenly, the only person that makes his facial expression change, Himawari, his little sister.
So is Boruto like the bad guy, I guess?
No.
Or who's the bad guy?
Technically, he is the bad guy.
So
he's not.
I mean, I don't read Boruto, but like I'm fucking confused.
So
Doesn't
essentially,
make no sense to me.
him and Kawaki switch places due to, and not a Genjutsu ability. You could call it a Genjutsu ability, but
Spoiler
now
warning, by the way.
everyone believes that Kawaki is Boruto and Boruto is Kawaki, and what Boruto is trying to do is regain his legitimacy within the Konoha, get his father back, get his family back, get everybody back. And the issue with that is that now he's blacklisted from Konoha because people think that he's Kawaki. Their brain essentially switched wires, and now they think that Boruto is Kawaki. So the way they used to look at Kawaki, they look at Boruto now. Even his sister, even all of Konoha, Shikamaru, everybody thinks that Kawaki is Boruto.
Except for Sarada. Except for Sumire. And except for Himawari, because she did say in one chapter that, I don't know, I still think he's a really good person. Like, this has to be a mistake. Like, he couldn't have done this to my dad.
Yeah, but also the reason why I think that is because Himawari also looked at Kawaki like a brother. So, you can look at it that way too.
So Kawaki was originally the bad guy then?
He still is kind of like the bad guy. He's more of like the guy, what's it called?
Duo antagonist.
No, like the digressed villain, essentially like saying like he's not like a main like bad dude, but the reason this whole setting is taken place is because of him, and Code is kind of like that antagonist.
Okay, so we continue on with the chapter. Shikadai says to Boruto, "What are you doing in Konoha, Boruto? What were you talking about with Code?" Kawaki is staring at Code. Code is unconscious at this point, but he's also trying to create his spikes to be able to go around and escape. And then Boruto says, "We're in the middle of negotiations. Can't you stop interfering with us?" And then all of a sudden, obviously, Kawaki stops the spikes, and he shortens them with his genjutsu. Boruto stares at him. Excuse me. And then it's Shikamaru, I believe. He's saying, "Report the situation, Kawaki. What's going on?" And then Kawaki says, "I don't know what happened, but Code seems to be quite exhausted. I just got rid of all the surrounding claw grimes to cut off his retreat. We could probably kill him." Kawaki says, not Kawaki. Shikamaru says, "Good, it's an opportunity that won't come again. Make sure we finish him off." And then Boruto says, "Kawaki, get away from Code right now. Do not provoke him." And then the I forgot what they're called, but the creatures comes out of Code.
They're kind of like the ones that the Hashirama cells used.
Yeah, they're like part Hashirama cells, part Code material.
Yeah, I forgot what they were, but those things.
But then that comes out of Code after Kawaki says, "Who are you to order me around? Obviously, it came to Konoha. You must be prepared to die then, right, Boruto?" And then Kawaki looks behind him. Shikadai is thrown off. Code is following right behind the chakra thingy, the Hashirama cells.
Yeah.
Villain. I don't know what to call them. And then
Just call them the Code clones.
The Code clones? Okay. So he goes up, calls them the Code clones, and then Kawaki stabs the Code clone.
Because they're made out of the shadow material thing.
Yeah.
The strap thingies that he makes.
Kawaki is trapped, and he says, this bastard. And then Shikamaru says, "Well, what's going on?" And then Shikadai says, "Code ran away. That bastard used the claw grime." And then Shikamaru says, "Damn, listen up. That doesn't mean he ran away with his tail between his legs. Hurry up and get rid of the remaining claw grimes in the village." Shikadai says, "Roger."
One Piece reference?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Kawaki says to Shikadai, "You guys go ahead." And then Himawari says, "Oni-chan, brother." Kawaki says to Boruto, "I've got business with him." And then pans to Boruto. And then we pan to a tree. They say, "It's a tree. This is completely what..." This is completely, what does it mean? And Sarado says, "This the Ten Tails. By eating an Otsutsuki, it's a beast that becomes a god tree. Its instinct might be to eat people, and perhaps this is a failed." Okay, then this random shinobi says that. Then perhaps this is a failed god tree that ate something wrong. And then Sarada says, "I don't know, but one thing's for sure: he's not dead yet, and he's still alive because there's somebody trapped in the tree." Kawaki says, 3 years. What's up with that look? Did you become Uchiha's adopted child? And then Boruto says, I'm relieved that your young sharp tongue hasn't changed. Himawari seems fine too. Go on. They start walking towards each other, and Kawaki says, "To what are you here for? If you chose your hometown as your place of death, I'll help you right here, right now." And Boruto says, "Dying in Konoha isn't bad, but not today. Back off, Kawaki. You're in the way." Kawaki says, "The only one who's in the way here and now is you, Boruto." Right. Don't you think so? And then the toad in Boruto's thing starts rustling around, and he says, "Succeeded in sneaking in, Boruto. Code went back to his base." And then Boruto says to the toad, "What about the Ten Tails?" He says, "Wait, not yet." And then Code pans to where the Ten Tails is, and then Code says, "Damn it, Boruto, that bastard." And then I think that's the Code slave that was in in that little dimension that they have. And you were right, there are chakra clones inside of the Ten Tails.
Chakra rods, and then
Chakra
Code
rods.
Code essentially says, "Damn, they found it."
Yeah. I think. Because no, Code doesn't seem surprised about that. He's just saying "damn it" in general, like Boruto's like that bastard. Like he's just saying like in general, like he's hurting me. He's still dizzy, by the way. Like Boruto didn't like undo this genjutsu yet, so he's still like dizzy as hell. And I don't think he seems surprised about the chakra rods. I think he might have put it in there to make sure.
Destabilizes the Ten Tails, but
Yeah. To maybe just
you,
hold off the
you don't
Tentails.
you don't think that Boruto actually found the Ten Tails?
No, I don't think so, because he wouldn't be asking Galaki where's the Tentails.
True.
He wouldn't be asking him at all where the Tentails is if he knew where it is. What do you guys
Well,
think of the chapter?
maybe it was Kawaki's chakra rods.
Kawaki's chakra rods? It's possible, but
Because he can make them.
Yeah, but then wouldn't Kawaki already try to go after Tentails, because isn't that their whole mission as well?
Well, he probably wants to use the Ten Tails, knowing Kawaki.
As an outsider looking in, Austin, what do you think of the chapter?
I mean, it's very confusing because I just don't know the story. So like listening to it, I'm just very like confused, I guess. And it just sounds like boring. I don't know. It just doesn't sound interesting to me. Maybe that's why I never got into Boruto, but like just doesn't seem intriguing at all, and just seems confusing all around, if I'm gonna be honest.
It is.
But it's probably one of those stories you gotta get into. Like I'm sure if someone showed me or talked about a chapter from One Piece, I'd be like, I don't know if I never watched it, you know? So
Yeah, I mean, my boy literally took the Earth's rotation and put it in and put it in a genjutsu. I mean,
I can definitely see the like through the chapter and how you guys talk about it, how much the power has just increased in the Naruto verse. I mean, like stopping planets and stuff. To me, that's something like One Punch Man does, you know? Because you think of One Punch Man, you think of like, dude gets hit so hard he flies into the moon, and then he has to jump back to Earth, and he basically destroys the entire moon almost, or like half the moon, because he has to jump back. And then in the manga, he sneezes, and he literally blows Jupiter apart. Like, so I don't know if you guys are caught up on the One Punch Man manga,
No,
but
we're not. I mean,
he
I am
just
trying to watch it. I just don't want to go on Hulu and watch it.
he gets crazier and crazier.
He gets
Season
stronger.
3, season 3. If they animate
I'm just surprised it's
Cosmic
not on
Garu,
Crunchyroll.
what, One Punch Man?
Yeah, because everything's on Crunchyroll.
How much was
I
that on
don't,
Crunchyroll?
I don't know if I ever looked it up. I think it is.
Everything is. It's just only season 1, not season 2 or 3.
I don't even see it on here. I just looked it up. So
Yeah, it's only on Netflix and the other site, I forgot where. I think Hulu.
Hulu, yeah.
Yeah, Hulu. I just saw it. I think it's only one chapter.
Uh-uh.
Really? That's
But
interesting. It's not here.
I I don't know. I'm just not very interested in Boruto. I don't know what Boruto would have to do to get me interested, but just from hearing the chapter, I'm not like chomping at the bit to go read it. So
I respect it because it's kind of slow now. I really think they should have ended it with the Naruto series, but you know how
Yes.
stuff goes.
Shippuden should have been the end.
Yeah.
Because now they make Kaguya look like a fucking, like a cookie crumb.
Yeah, literally. They just made their own. They made their own antagonists look weaker, and then made their sons look like even stronger than they are.
now, I mean, there's fights in Boruto I've seen. Obviously, everyone's seen the Momoshiki fight that are like dope, and you think, holy shit, I should go watch this. And then you look at the filler list and you're like,
One out of every
should I?
100 episodes, you get a decent episode. That's the
Yeah.
bad thing about Boruto.
Yeah.
Because then you have shitty ass filler that Studio Pierrot loves to produce because they're super close to like the main storyline because Kishimoto's a monthly manga that feels like a week, not even like a weekly manga. I just can't call it a great show. Like I don't think it touches Naruto in any type of like facilitating way. I love Naruto Shippuden like to the death of me, and I don't think Boruto can match that. Like it has cool moments, but every cool moment is because it has Naruto and Sasuke in it. I'm being like frankly honest.
Yeah.
And
So to
go ahead.
that point, RJ, a lot of the stuff I see of Boruto is hate on Twitter, and one of the big things is I always see what you just said, which is they'll say both of these are monthly mangas, and they'll show like a Boruto panel and then like a One Punch Man panel, or they'll
Exactly.
say like this one of them is weekly, one of them is monthly, and a lot of the times I actually see like either a JJK or a Sakamoto Days panel for like a weekly or bi-weekly, and then they show a Boruto. Do you think that he
They,
doesn't put that like
they don't put
maybe
effort
he
into
doesn't
to
put
the drawing. Even
he does it
even
more for
even
like
even
story?
even now, like as Boruto is monthly, even though it's still monthly, it's like it still doesn't look as good as like some weekly manga. Like Fire Force's weekly and it looked absolutely insane. JJK's weekly looks absolutely insane. One Punch Man, don't even get me started. I don't read it, but I've seen the panels. It's insane. It's like these people on such tight like guidelines and they still create great story and great illustrations. And then you have Boruto, which I'm not saying has a lackluster storyline because it is getting very good. The issue is kind of like it has a really shitty foundation. Plus, it's a monthly manga, and it looks nowhere near as good as most of these weekly mangas that are on Shonen Jump. That makes sense. Like it just
Now, does Kishimoto do both the story and the art?
Kishimoto does the story, Ikimoto does the drawing. Ikimoto's his illustrator.
Is there
It gets me pissed off because if you look at Naruto, like because there's no such thing as Naruto Shippuden as a manga, it's just Naruto. If you look at Naruto, illustration is insane. It's so good. There's so much attention to detail. Very, very, very great attention. Yeah, like it's so much. It feels like Boruto's like a lackluster version of Naruto, like a derivative that just doesn't feel the same. That gets all the shittier points from Naruto and just digresses and turns into the whole main plot line of Boruto. It's like,
does it
oh,
feel like Boruto was simply made to make more money?
100% as a cash grab, 1,000,000,000%. Kishimoto's a great storyteller, but if you just look at the way that Studio Pierrot butchered Boruto and gave it 90% filler, you can see that it's a cash grab for every Sunday watcher to just watch that so they can keep a port and a program going. That's all they did.
I think this may be a hot take. I think Pokemon kind of did the same thing. I feel like Pokemon could have
100%. A
ended like 10
million
years
years
ago
ago.
and just
Not
kept
even 10
making
years
games.
ago.
All they
It
needed to
could,
do was just make the video games.
Pokemon could have ended after like 9/11. Like in all seriousness, like Pokemon wasn't like who are these trainers? Why did Ash just become the champion? Why didn't he do that like 20 years ago?
When did
You know,
Pokemon premiere? 99?
Something like that.
it literally Pokemon could have had a 5-year run, bro. Don't
Literally, but
why.
I feel like they just wanted to extend on their universe as well, which is
But
like
the difference in the universe is kind of like you have this main
just
plot of
different Pokemon, bro.
Ash and Pikachu. No, but he did do that. Like when he gave up Charizard because Charizard wasn't ready, and then in that movie when Charizard saves him when he falls off like the valley, it's like he is, oh my god, like Ash has come so far. Let's do 20 more years of television.
Yeah, I feel like the games are
So much better
are
than the
much more
actual show.
popular nowadays than the shows are. And I think the show just kind of is like there for kids mostly, in that they can get kids who watch cartoons on the weekend or weekdays whenever it premieres or shows, and then they can like, what's the word, like straight line them into getting the cards in the games. But it's
Well, the
like the games
Pokemon,
are enough to
yeah,
get kids into the cards. So, and all the
Pokemon.
YouTubers.
The whole point of Pokemon is essentially so they watch the show and they buy the actual toy because they make more money on merchandise. It's just like Dragon Ball Z. Shonen Jump loves to greenlight these animes for, like especially shonen animes. They love to greenlight shonen animes to air. That way merchandise just sells like hotcakes. When do you not see, like, let's be honest, like I was saying before, South America, bruh. They fucking love Dragon Ball. Like the reason why Dragon Ball has produced so much money is because of merchandise, not because of their television airing. All that money gets, actuated and put into merchandise. They get so much merchandise bought. It's absolutely insane. Like if you look at Star Wars, like no, you actually know. What's a good representation of merchandise? Like Beyblade, dude. Beyblade was not even like supposed to be like a good show. People loved the Beyblade show. I was like in like 7, 8, but
Let me
that
get the
merchandise
Beyblades.
went crazy. That show was created for merchandise. That's the whole point.
I mean, Bakugan, Yu-Gi-Oh.
They're
I
all
think Yu-Gi-Oh is the
Yu-Gi-Oh is the
best.
craziest. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is the craziest because Yu-Gi-Oh is
Yu-Gi-Oh's the
actually a good
best,
show.
in
Yu-Gi-Oh
my
is
opinion.
actually a good show.
Well, and the thing I like about Yu-Gi-Oh compared to Pokemon that really like made me gravitate more towards getting heavily into Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, like buying all the cards, making decks and stuff, was I felt like in the Yu-Gi-Oh in the show, like the monsters, the spells, they all correlated to the direction that the show was in, or like the
Yeah.
atmosphere that the show was in. Because what is it? It's like Yu-Gi-Oh 4Z or something when they race around the track and fight, and
I'm rocking with it.
All the Yu-Gi-Oh were like race car like influence. That's when you had like tuners come in.
I see what you
And
mean. Like for every arc in Yu-Gi-Oh, there kind of was like a simulation between the Yu-Gi-Oh and the actual like setting of the arc. Yeah, I get what you mean.
yeah,
But honestly, I really like Yu-Gi-Oh just because Yu-Gi-Moto was always him. Like, bro was always him. Rest in
yeah.
peace to the mangaka, but dude, Yu-Gi-Moto was him.
And they also brought a new character every arc as well.
Yeah,
I
there
think
was a new
4Z had
character.
a different guy. I think the only time Yugi is in the show is the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they just kind of like, it's almost like JoJo's where they like jump characters. I can't remember because I haven't watched Yu-Gi-Oh! In forever if they're like connected or anything like JoJo's. But they all
Um,
have like a similar like villain hero aspect to them. But they're
yeah,
not like completely copy
yeah, I see
pasted.
like it's like JoJo's, but um, I think when everyone thinks of Yu-Gi-Oh, just like the original Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I don't know if I can like really like the new Yu-Gi-Ohs. I don't know.
I enjoyed, I think, the next two that came after the original,
Because they
but I
did the
haven't
same
watched it in
thing with
forever.
Pokemon, like new trainers, but then they always digress back to their original, like main
But they
character.
always have Ash in it. It's like, how long is Ash gonna be? What's he been like 10
And
year
he's
I
old?
aged
mean, I
like
think
a
Ash is
year.
officially like done now.
Oh, the
Yeah,
whole
it's like a
show's
new
done.
person now.
The whole show's done.
Yeah.
No, there's a new Pokemon. It just
There's a
doesn't
Yeah,
have
new
Ash in
yeah.
it.
no one's rocking with it. No one's rocking with
Probably
it.
not, because
Well,
Ash is gone. So that's
Ash.
probably why they kept him around for so long.
I mean, like they just kept him the same age. Like I guess if they like started to age him through the years, I guess it wouldn't have been so bad. But this man stayed like 17 for like 20 years, or
Yeah.
probably even younger.
Wasn't he 16?
I mean,
Like I
okay,
said,
but
even
like, how old's
younger.
Luffy?
Okay, see, Luffy is 19.
But Luffy was 16 when he started.
Yeah.
And it's been like what, 30 fucking years?
25 years since the manga started, and
I
23
mean,
years since the anime
it's
started.
no better. Don't get me wrong.
Dude should be in his near 50s.
Yeah, but the difference in between Pokemon and One Piece. It's kind of like Ash deadass completed everything within the first 5 years of television, and then for the next 20 years, just bullshit with other trainers and just like
Just new tournaments.
just money
Yeah,
sagging the hell out of it. One
literally.
Piece is kind of like, yo, we're giving you no information for 20 years, and then for this last year's, like, let's give you all the information because we want to end this shit.
What I
That
never
makes sense.
understood, like, if they want to keep Ash, why didn't they keep like Brock and Misty? Maybe I forgot like the whole Yu-Gi-Oh lore, but
You
to
mean Pokemon?
me, oh yeah, Pokemon.
I was gonna say Misty is not Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, but like,
And Brock.
why did they just disappear? And then they had what Missy, I think, was the next one with Piplup, and then they might have had Brock for Turtwig.
They brought Brock back a few different times.
I remember like
Yo,
the
Brock's
starter
father was a piece of
Pokemon
shit.
stuff.
Literally.
Yo, Brock's father is like honestly might be worse than Gon's dad.
What did he?
That's hard.
Remind me. What did he do again?
I didn't even want to know. Brock literally was like, "Yo, my child's here. I'm good." Bro literally abandoned his child, and Brock's whole thing was like, "I'm gonna see my dad." He sees that, yo, fuck you, little dude.
That's
They're
crazy.
like three people in anime that I hate, and it's Gon's dad, Brock's dad, and then
Why do you make
who can I go
Gon's
for
dad?
that? Gon's dad sucks. Oh my god. Dude, Gon was in critical condition fighting for his fucking life, and his dad was like at a press conference for like what I forgot what they're called. People in Hunter x Hunter, what are they called again? With the card, hunters. They're called hunters. Yeah, like at a press conference talking about who's gonna be the new chairman since Netero's dead, and they were like, and then what's his name? The guy wants to be a doctor. You watch the show, right, Austin?
I only got halfway through it,
Oh
so
my god, so I'm just talking to a blank canvas right now.
Yeah, do it.
Well, essentially, one of the main characters was kind of like, "Your son is in critical condition. You want to freaking see him." And he's like,
oh,
"Yeah, I know."
Leorio.
Leorio, and he's like, "Yeah, I know." And he's like, "You're a piece of shit." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And then Gon just comes walking in after they like, perform this surgery. He's like no Nen anymore. And Leorio starts crying like his fucking father when Leorio's only like 15, 16. But he
You know
looks like a
what's
grown dude.
crazy? I just really thought of this, and you know, Austin's far enough in the story to talk about this. It just reminded me about something in One Piece.
Okay.
So we remember how Ace was basically hunted down because Roger was his father. I mean, that
Yes.
was like the underlining clause.
The notion, yeah.
That was the underlining notion of it all, but like there was a bunch of crimes, I guess, that you could relate, even though it wasn't.
Family of D as well.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, they didn't really hunt the D. They really didn't.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah,
But
because
they all
Jaguar,
hunt
we
that
got to
RJ.
talk
Well,
about
well,
Jaguar
chicken
D
feet.
Sol. We got to talk about Monkey D Garb. Like, there's other people. But what I'm trying to say is, if they did that to Roger, they didn't really do that with Luffy, right? I mean, they weren't hunting him down because his father was the revolutionary, like the creator of the Revolutionary Army. They were just going after him because he was a misfit.
Full objection.
Okay.
I believe that they didn't go after him because his grandfather is legitimately the most popular, most idolized Marine to ever exist.
There's definitely some shady shit going on, is what I'm trying to
No,
say.
no, I just think that they wouldn't go after the hero of the Marines' grandson. Even if Garp's son was Goldie Roger, I think that they would forgive Luffy of his crimes as long as Garp was a Marine.
Okay. And
Because the thing about Ace was they didn't even know Ace was with Garp. If Garp like took popular like public accountability and was like Ace is my child, Ace is my like grandson, I don't think they would have hunted Ace as much as they hunted him.
But Sengoku knew that Ace
well,
was.
Well,
Sengoku is
Sengoku was
his
also-
closest
Sengoku
friend.
was also conflicted doing it.
Mhm.
The ones who weren't were Akainu. Kizaru doesn't care. Aokiji doesn't care.
Kizaru is a dog. That he literally admitted that.
He's
Like,
he's
a dog.
he's a lapdog, and then Aokiji has its own sense of justice, and he was just kind of like he let Luffy live like on 3 occasions in Marineford. He stabbed him in like the arm, all that shit. So
And let's not
Aokiji's
forget
solid.
before Marineford as well, when he like spared Robin's life a few times.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
he spared the Straw Hat's life. Like Aokiji is like just senseless justice. Like he knows what's real justice and all. And also you gotta remember he's Garp's like pupil.
Yeah.
Like he's Garp's apprentice.
I gotta say this too, and RJ, I know you're not a big fan of this theory, I guess, but I think Roger. There's so many hints.
He doesn't
So
have the
for
gum fruit.
me, there's so many hints for me that Garp and Roger were best friends in their
Oh no,
childhood.
I believe that. I think we talked about that. I think that Garp and Roger were essentially the same thing as Luffy and Kobe. I think Roger might have found Garp, and then he was like, "Yo, you're strong as hell," or like, "Yo, I want." He's like, they just came together, became cool, and then Garp was like, I can't do this pirate shit. I want to be a marine." And then Roger was probably like, "Okay, I'm cool with that." And then just like how Kobe and Luffy are gonna rekindle for a fight, I think that's what happened at God Valley.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that Garp and Roger didn't know each other. Like, why would Garp take in Roger's son?
Yeah,
Exactly
there's
what I'm
obviously
trying to
history
say.
behind it.
There's
Huh?
got to be some history behind it.
Yeah, there has to be, bro. There's like
And
no way. That's what I'm saying. There's way
and
too much evidence to
there's
support that.
yeah, there's also an underlying respect that Rayleigh has for Garp that he shouldn't really have. So it's like there's some underlying history between the Roger Pirates and Garp. I think it's a similar sense in between the Straw Hats and Kobe.
Hmm.
I
But
also think that the reason the Navy doesn't go after Luffy so much is also kind of shown in like Dressrosa with Fujitora. I think that they feel like there's people or pirates and pirate crews out there that are much dangerous to the peace of the world than Luffy's. Because like Luffy is dangerous and he takes out big names, but he's taking out people who are very corrupt, like Doflamingo, Crocodile. He's trying to take out Blackbeard, who obviously the Navy doesn't like, even though he's like an emperor or he was like a warlord too. But like I feel like Luffy, he defeats people that like the Navy's also going after, and he like uncovers darkness in the world where like if they took him down he has such like a I feel like he's already has like such a high like value from the people of the world that like if he's taken down, who's gonna go up against pirates who are like very dangerous or who like the Navy really can't stand up to by themselves, I feel like.
hmm.
And I say this all the time, and I do think that there's a respect in between the Marines and the Straw Hats, and I think that's why Sword is a thing. Um, and it's really like Luffy does their job, and it's like when you hear about the emperors and how they're supposed to like mitigate piracy, you kind of look at Luffy like, oh shit, this guy's been doing their goddamn jobs. Like Kaido didn't do anything, Big Mom didn't do anything, Whitebeard maybe, but like these people who are like the emperors of the sea didn't really mitigate any like piracy unless you're like Shanks. Like Shanks, like, we've seen back pages that he's actually like actually freeing like civilizations of piracy and but most of the time they're not even doing their job. Like Luffy has taken out like what four warlords and pretty much two Yonko if you want to count Big Mom. Um, there's
And
success to a story, and it's like I think the Marines, especially in Dressrosa, Fuji was like, yo, if I wish I didn't blind myself. You know what
yeah,
I mean? I
that
I
really
want
was
to
give
see
that
them
her
was
super high
smile.
respect.
I want
that
to
Yeah,
see
was
her
I love
smile.
that part of Dressrosa. I'm telling you, Dressrosa is like tied for number one for my favorite arcs.
Doflamingo is the best
Wow.
antagonist in One Piece.
It
That's
was
there's no doubt about it.
amazing. I didn't feel bored the entire arc. I wasn't bored at all. I mean, the only thing that knocks it is Usopp. I don't think his shot on Sugar at the end
I was fire. Don't
did
That
even
was
say anything about
anything.
it.
fire, bro. Come on.
Okay, it's cool that
Usopp
he
got
sees the
Conqueror's Haki
observation
though.
hockey, but like at the same time, does that like mess up? Does that like take away all the fucking pussyfooting he did
Does he know?
down
Does
at the
he?
like
Does he
down
know?
underneath the Coliseum and shit? It
Does
doesn't.
he know? Does he know?
Do I
Usopp
know
has
what?
Conquerors.
That's the thing about One Piece. Like you kind of watch an
Okay,
episode and
okay,
you make the
dude.
whole like, no, he
This is
does
something
not.
that is
No, he does
so
not.
annoying to me though in the show. When we find out that Luffy has Conqueror's Haki around like Amazon Lily, even Marineford, it's built up like this. Only like a select few people in the world have it, and then now everyone's having it. Don Chinzhou has it. Doflamingo has it. All these people have Conqueror's Haki,
Yeah,
But
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 you
they're
you're
have,
all
made to
really, really.
believe.
but you have to look at the size pool. Like when you go to somewhere like Dressrosa, or you go to somewhere like Marineford, or you go to somewhere like that's really pent up with all these strong people. You kind of have to think about, yo, for every like million civilians, there's one strong guy like this, and then this size pool of people is a demographic in which it's really niche. So out of like maybe even 100 people, one person might have Conqueror's Hockey. Because out of a million
Yeah.
people, those 100 people might not even be in there. So it's like this size pool of all these people. It's like condensed. It's like that's why Zoro has conquerors, Luffy has conquerors, Roger had conquerors, Sengoku has conquerors, because these are the strongest people in the world.
Right.
You know, the size pool and demographics are a lot smaller than in reality of them just stepping onto a random island in front of a million people. if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
Like,
that makes a lot of sense.
and if there's 100 strong people, 20 of them might have conqueror's hockey because out of those 100 strong people, out of a million, only 100 might be strong. You know what I
And
mean?
that
So it's like
Conqueror's
it's
Honky
a nice
might
pool.
not be as strong as anything you've seen though.
No, but
Okay.
you
What
can
I
build
got, so
conqueror's
in
hockey as long as you
Amazon
have
Lily,
it.
when they describe Conqueror's Hockey, what I got from it is Luffy is the only one. It's like once in a generation someone gets Conqueror's Hockey.
No,
Is
it's
that
once
They
not
in
how
don't
it is?
explain it
it's
like
one in a
that.
million. It's prescribed as 1 in a million in Amazon Lily.
Mhm.
And the
I
thing
thought,
is, it's hereditary. So if say your dad is a great leader and he doesn't even have Conqueror's Hockey, you can be born with Conqueror's Hockey because your father was a leader. It's like triples down generation. So like you can look at Zoro, someone who has bloodline of Shimotsuki and is legitimate descendant of the sword god Ryuma, and then trickle it down and be like, okay, that's why he has Conqueror's Hockey. You can look at Luffy and be like, yo, his dad is the revolutionary leader of the world and his grandfather is the hero of the Marines. He has Conqueror's Hockey. You get Sengoku and be like, yo, this guy is legitimate the fleet admiral and has been doing this for 30 years. He was definitely born a conqueror. Like you have all this like giant demographic in a small size pool. If you have 100 strong fighters, 20 of them might have Conqueror's Hockey just innately because like I said, out of a million people, maybe some of them won't be strong, and then some of them might have Conqueror's Hockey, but everyone's there who is strong. That
Right.
makes sense. You don't
And
survive Marineford being a goop.
and to support that, let's go back to Fisherman Island. Remember when they were talking about going up against all of the fishermen, the whole fisherman army. They were talking about how Sanji said they might have to take 100,000 on each, but that was before Luffy lit up his Conqueror's Hockey. So when Luffy
yeah.
lit up his Conqueror's Hockey, he took out approximately 50,000 people, which brought it down to 10,000 instead of 100,000 people. So
So math ain't mathin'.
the math is not mathing right now.
Yeah,
But
I think it was 10,000 for each of the straw hats, and
Yeah.
then he took out half of them and went
5,000
down
for
to
each.
5,000 for each.
That's what I probably meant to say, yes. But
Okay, so I just misunderstood it then. I thought it was like once in a generation thing. And I
Mm.
kept seeing all these people have Conqueror's Hockey, and I kept being like, I thought it's like once in a generation. Like Roger
genetical.
had it, and all this other
Also,
stuff.
there's like no amount for hockey. Like people think like there's like a it's like Nen where like oh you have a lot of Nen like you're strong. Like no, hockey is essentially you can build up your hockey. It's not like chakra where it's like oh my god Naruto you have 6 times the amount of chakra as Kakashi. You could become 6 times stronger. In One Piece, all like yo, you just gotta get stronger on your own. If you have the innate ability to use Conqueror's Hockey, you can take it as far as you want. If you have the innate, if you can learn observation armament, you can take it as far as you want. There's no like eligibility of hockey where one person has such tiny amount of hockey and one person has such a large amount of hockey. It's like you learn how to use your hockey. Like Luffy, if he didn't have any hockey, could be weaker than someone like Helmeppo who trains his observation hockey all day. You know what I mean? That's the way it works in One Piece. It's all merit. It's not like chakra, which it's awesome, but it's like you have all this like lineage issues where it's like, yo, imagine you're like a random in Konoha, you couldn't even do shit. Like, you want to be an aspiration, you want to be Hokage? No, you have someone with a nine-tailed fox and 6 times chakra as a regular person.
Yeah.
So there's no like pool of hockey. It's just because like in Dressrosa we see that like Gear Fourth drains the hockey and like his
Mhm.
strength, but it doesn't mean he just has like a select pool of hockey that he can only
You build it
do
up.
Gear Fourth like 10 minutes for the rest of his life. He can build it up and go like 20, 30 an hour even if he has to.
I think you build up your hockey. The more hockey mastery you have, the more you can hold, and I think that everyone has the same like tenet for like hockey. Like they can, the human body can carry as much hockey as it can. Like because if you look at Zoro when he holds Enma, it kind of rips his hockey out of his body, and it's like he's not learning how to use more hockey. He's learning how to regulate how much hockey he's using. If that makes sense. It's like a bike tire. Like all bike tires can take as much gas as possible, but you can only get so far on so much air in your tire, essentially. But
Okay.
if you put all the air in your tire and you cap it off, your tires will last you years. It's like hockey's the same way. It's like everyone has this innate max out to hockey, but you like learn regulation. Like you know how Gojo has a 6 eyes and how that regulates his curse energy. Even though curse energy I think is sometimes stupid with oh he has 2 times amount of curse energy. He has so much curse energy. Look at his output. But it comes to a fact. It's like the kind of like the same thing where say you have to have such good regulation and such good control over your curse energy in order to use it efficiently. Like how Gojo can use the 6 eyes and Limitless together. He uses like 0.1% of his curse energy, but it's just as strong as if he was using 100% output because he's so good at manipulating his curse energy. Same thing with hockey, like how Luffy learns armament, Rio, and all these advanced conquerors techniques. He's not using most of his haki, but he's allocating it to pretty much be a lot stronger than what he was before. So, cool.
Now, do you guys think that they built up hockey well and explained
Yeah,
it well?
I think so. I think it's been showed since the first episode. With Shanks and the Sea Beast, but they could have done better earlier in One Piece. I think they did a very good job of explaining in Wano, like Rio, armament, observation. They did really good of observation in Whole Cake Island. They explain about observation, and then in Wano they really do a really good job at explaining like advanced armament hockey, like the actual like background behind it and how it works, and Conqueror's hockey as well. I think there's still something left that we need to know about Conqueror's hockey, but in terms of like regular hockey, like observation and armament, I think they did a really good telltale sign of telling like us like the actual definition of the advanced versions, the regular versions, what they do, how they are, why was Virgo full body armament, what the fuck was that? You know what I mean? Like they do a good job.
Yeah.
So, okay, so since I finished Zoe, now I talked to Omar a little bit before you got in here, RJ. Do you think, because now we kind of get the impression that Raftel is where the One Piece is, and like that's the end goal is to get the Raftel using the road
100%.
poneglyphs. Do you think that they introduced the road poneglyphs too late? Maybe that should have been
Huh.
something added much earlier into the story where you can have that sense of like what the end goal is, even though it is getting to the
Well,
One Piece.
I think it was perfect
well,
because we saw it in Fishman Island, the first road poneglyph, correct?
well,
And
well. Wait, we saw one in Skypiea.
well,
No, because it was yellow. It was like
it,
yellow or gold.
the red. We're talking about the red ones, the actual red one that point you to the actual raft tail, not the.
Yeah, that gets
Not,
introduced in Zoe.
yeah,
Okay, I see. I see.
but I'm talking about like in Marineford when they find the poneglyph, the road poneglyph, uh, like Big Mom's. It was Big Mom's, the one in Fishman Island, right?
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah.
sure.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
The one that said one where Joy Boy was like, I mean not Joy Boy, where Robin was like, "Who are you, Joy Boy?" Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think they introduced it perfectly in not Marineford in Fishman Island because you have this time skip arc and you kind of already seen the poneglyphs, not the ones that point to like the actual raft tail, but the ones that like build it up, like the one in Skype and Alabasta, and like talking about things like Pluton and Uranus. So it's like you have all this like leveling to do now in the new story, and I think that the new world in Fishman Island, up until like Wano, Egghead, what's going on right now, I think has done a good job of penting it up from the pre-time skip. So yeah, I think the road poneglyphs are good. And in hindsight, One Piece is not really that long when you think about it. Like in terms of episode, yes, but in storyline, not really. Like you can go arc by arc and be like, they found this poneglyph, they found that poneglyph, this person found this one, this person found that one. Luffy has to go get this one from this person. It's all going to meet up in the end, and I think they did a good job of building it up. So
Definitely.
Now, do you think that the Navy sometimes won't go after Luffy because he has Robin and they know she can read the poneglyphs and
well,
that
that's the
he's
reason
gonna
they
go
want
after the
her.
poneglyphs?
That's the
Mhm.
reason they want her, bruh. Every arc they want her, bruh.
But do they think that they can't say like the road poneglyphs, right? They can't defeat someone like Big Mom on their own if they just have Robin. They would rather have Luffy go after him because he's so strong and he's already defeated people
They're
who are
definitely using
at
Luffy
that
as
level.
yeah. They're definitely using Luffy as kind of like a not like a fixture. They're kind of like this guy's gonna beat them eventually. Let's just let him do his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
That's
And
what I saw in Dressrosa. That's what I thought.
And I the Alliance, I got that now.
I found
I,
it really funny that the one arc that Austin really, really liked was the one arc that Kishimoto had to write because Oda was in surgery.
He wrote like one like a page or like two. He
No,
didn't. He only
he.
assisted him for one chapter because I mean Kishimoto was in the hospital, and it wasn't even with dialogue. He assisted him with illustration, I believe.
You
talking
mean
about
you mean
Arlong?
Oda was in the hospital?
Oda was in the hospital, and Kishimoto helped him for like maybe a couple chapters. It
No,
wasn't.
it was.
Dressrosa's like 100 something chapters, dude. He didn't assist him for like 10, not
I
even
talking
like
talking
20
about
chapters.
Arlong.
I'm about to look this up. There was a rumor in 2013 about Kishimoto going to visit Oda while he was hospitalized in the middle of the Dressrosa arc, and
Well, and then
two worked
also
on it together.
Omar kind of built up
It
Law's
was it was it was
backstory.
he helped him for 2 weeks during his break in 2013,
2 weeks.
and it was in Oda's comments that he talked about Kishimoto's the author Kishimoto helping him out during that 2 week break.
In
I mean
Dressrosa.
2 week break, yeah.
Okay.
So he really didn't have a giant portion in Dressrosa,
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
but pretty sure it was
Hmm.
illustration because you can tell a story from your mouth, but you can't draw that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Go for it.
I have a concern here. Omar built up Law's backstory as the worst one I'd ever seen, basically.
It is.
But
That shit's
It
fucking
is.
horrible.
It's
He's literally
horrible.
living in. He's literally like. He literally. That was
to me, is
horrible.
it not kind of like a copy paste with just different aspects of Robin's? The
That.
entire
No.
country's killed
Yeah,
away
but
for a reason because in Robin's
No.
case, they're looking for into the Void Century.
not
In
really.
Law's case,
No.
it's a disease.
Well, I think the reason why they're also so similar is because if you look at Robin and Law's whole ideology and their goal, it's like this. Like Robin and Law have a very assimilated goal, and that's finding out the true nature of the world history. And I think the reason why their backstory is so pent up like that is because the world government let their whole civilization die when they didn't need to. And I can like say like yeah, they're kind of similar, but Robin's got bombed in one day while Law had to suffer about months with white lead disease and watch his whole family die, watch all of his friends get massacred by the government, had to literally scramble through dead bodies to get out of his civilization, and then he even met like a really horrible organization that abused the shit out of him and killed the first and he only looked at his father after his whole family died. Like I think Law definitely had a very similar backstory to Robin in the sense of his
I find it more similar to
country,
Chopper.
but
Upper.
Chopper.
It's just like
I
everybody
understand Dr.
abandoned my
Hero.
boy. Everybody abandoned him. It was just sad.
Well,
Okay, but that's the
well,
same thing. Everyone like
yeah, that's the all of One Piece. Like if you look at Sanji, it's the same thing. But the difference between Chopper is Chopper was always alone from the start because he ate the heat to know me and became a complete outcast. Dr. Hiruluk found him. But
Sure.
with Law and Robin, there's a simulation in the sense that they're both looking for the same thing, and both of their countries got blown up to shreds. But I
well,
mean, I think Law's
Robin
just
went through kind of the same thing.
but Law's
Once
was
she finally
extended.
got away from O'Hara,
But
the
Law's was
whole
extended.
world had it out for her because she had the huge bounty.
Well, that's
Yeah,
But
but
where
I
everyone
think
like
that
backstabbed her.
I think O'Hara highlights the fact of how much the government is willing to go through to eradicate any information based on the Void Century. And while Law's backstory doesn't really highlight that because they're not going after the Void Century, they're not going after that. They're just going after a really deadly disease that can spread very, very quickly.
they still killed everybody though with the
No,
disease.
100%. Like I'm not justifying anything. Like that's fucked up. Period. But
Oh, they're 2D characters.
huh?
They're 2D characters.
Fucked up. Period. I don't care. Shout out Palestine. But anyway, where I think Law's life is more sad in the sense where he was not only did everybody find out on the island that they got white lead disease. I don't know what it was based on, but I'm pretty sure it was an unnatural occurrence. Like something
It was the government essentially knew it was gonna happen and they just let it happen so they can take over the land.
So okay, yeah, exactly. And what they did was let them take over the land and stuff like that. So they just sat there, waited and waited, and then until they were able to bomb it. Sound familiar? Anyway, they were just bombing it and stuff like that, and they were.
Well,
killing people.
they didn't really bomb it. What happened was
They like bordered it.
they boarded it to the point where people started going crazy, and then they pretty much said, "Oh, we're gonna save you. Everyone come out." And they started massacring everybody. But I mean, I can actually like you can like make it similar, saying that Nico, Robin, and Law's like past are the same. But the reason why I think Law's was worse is because Law had white lead disease, and when he found Doflamingo, and he stayed with him for that long,
Essentially, he knew
and
he
then
was going
and,
to
and
die
he
anyway.
knew he was going to die anyway, and he stayed with Corazon for months, while everybody was rejecting him from every single hospital, and Corazon was the only person in his life who actually gave a fuck about him after all this stuff happened. So he gained a sense of security there, and then for him to be taken out by Doflamingo after he cured his disease was kind of like the kick in the it was kind of like the kick in the coffin because like like you found this one person after your whole life was traumatized and now he's dead too, but he saved you, so it's like a double whammy. And then you have his whole life being pent up to kill Doflamingo, and then him and Luffy fight. No, they don't kill him, but take him down. It's kind
I
of
have a
like
counterpoint.
what's the counterpoint?
Is Nico Robin not taking advantage of the rest of her entire life, even by Crocodile, by every single organization that she's in? She's
That's
basically sent to a death wish because
she's
she
not.
has such a high bounty on her.
It's only 8 million berry until she meets the Straw Hats,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to realize
No,
this.
it's like 90. They put like a 90 million
Oh, yeah.
like
It
berry on her.
might have been 90, but when she was a kid, it was 8 million berry.
No, it's like 90 when she's a kid. It's
But
huge.
yeah, I understand that, but you also got to realize she wasn't taken advantage of by these organizations. She joined the crocodile, that whole thing, so she can use them for the fucking to find Pluton. She
Even in
used
her
all of
childhood, she gets taken
Aokiji,
advantage of
but Aokiji said it. But Aokiji said it. She took advantage of all these
Yeah,
like terror groups.
as a kid, Nico Robin
90
was
billion.
79 million. Nico Robin as just an adult was 80, and then well, wait, I'm sorry. When she was in Baroque Works, it was 80, and then when
Oh, so now
she's in
she's at
Straw Hatch,
900.
and she also has Cypher Pull after
now
her
she's
her
with
entire life.
now she's 130, right?
No,
Or
she's 900 million.
well, yeah, now she's 900 million, but before that she was 130 million.
But what I'm saying is she took advantage of all these groups. Aokiji even said it. He said, "Yo, don't mess with Nico Robin. She's gonna take advantage of her groups. Every single group she's been in has always disbanded or all dead, and she's the only one left." And I understand like that's because she has had traumatic experiences and stuff. But Law literally had to live like I just can't, I just don't see the inference. Like Law's a D member. He has a checkered fate already. He was meant to die. He had two families that both were eradicated. Whole civilization eradicated. The person who eradicated his whole family was essentially the person whose brothers with his pseudo father, and then he had to fight him. His whole life goal was to fight him, and then he doesn't even know the history about his whole family. At least Nico Robin like knew something.
I don't know. I just feel like they're very similar with
No, they're
aspects.
100% similar, but I think that Law had it a little bit worse than Nico Robin.
I think that's subjective.
I think it's a bit worse.
I don't know.
Bro got
Still-
double whammied. Bro had two families and lost them both. Bro got double whammied.
Damn. You didn't even have to put it like that. But
At least he got Beppo.
yeah, but that's about the end. I think we could wrap it up here. That's the end of episode 7 of the Wano Bros Podcast. Thank you for the regular listeners who come in, tune in, and show up. Appreciate all of you. Thank you to Austin and RJ. Appreciate you both.
I'm in with
And
hot takes every week.
yes, every single week we will give you hot takes and everything.
We have
promise.
still yet to find the answer of why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is the best anime of all time.
It's the best.
We're still
Yeah.
looking.
Best.
I still
I'm kidding. It is
have
not
to
the
watch
best.
it to even give it my opinion on it.
It is top 5 though.
But
Okay.
appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. See you soon.